What is up, crew? It's your boy Kaycem, and on today's stream I'm going to be showing you guys how to practice drawing the upper body from basic to advanced, and we'll be going over different poses, different forms, and I'll be going over things like simple anatomy, simple shapes, as well as the actual more detailed anatomy as well. Now, if it's your first time here, welcome into the Kaycem crew. My name is Kaycem, and I'm a Filipino art streamer here on Twitch, and I teach everything from anatomy, perspective, gesture, and all things related to character design, and I also work full-time in the animation industry for the studio that made Castlevania. So if you guys are interested in some free art education, make sure to like, subscribe on YouTube, and follow me on Twitch if it's your first time here. But all right, let's get this one going, guys. Today I've got here a lot of references for you guys, which actually you guys can grab over on the Discord channel. So before we get started, let me actually show you guys, for those of you who are watching live, where you can grab these resources, because it's pretty easy to do. Join me on Discord, and here every single time that I'm live, I'll be uploading resources for you guys to use and follow along with if you want to. Here is the worksheet that we have today. We got 3 different references at 3 different angles. It's going to be fun. We got here muscular, muscular, and muscular. We've also got here the worksheet that I did last stream. For those of you who missed my stream there, you can grab this one here. And last but not least, I have here this cheat sheet that you guys can also use as well. It is going to be the head anatomy sheet. Okay. Now, if you guys are also new here, every 10 subs that we get on my stream actually unlocks more cheat sheets for everybody out here. So if you want to help contribute to some more accessible art education and art resources, consider subscribing or using a Prime sub or gifting some subs if you want to. But as always, these are going to be free because I always want to make sure to reward you guys who come out here and want to join in on today's stream. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to talk and focus first on these first 2. Also, thank you for the sub, Twisted Hawk. Appreciate that. All right. Let's go ahead here and start off with an easy one today. I didn't want to overwhelm you guys, so I gave you a semi-easy pose to start off with. And honestly, it might be a difficult pose because I know that a lot of you have told me how you have no clue what the heck is going on here sometimes with the arm. Like, what is all this? But don't worry, we'll go over some of that today, but I'll also go over how to simplify these things to kind of visualize it a little bit more simply without having to know too much of the anatomy. All right. And one of the best ways to really get into that habit of understanding and visualizing things out is to actually just simplify the torso into nice, clear, basic shapes. All right. Some of you might know some of these basic shapes when you were in elementary school. We're talking about circles, squares, triangles, but not actually, because we're going to make them 3-dimensional. We're not going to just keep everything flat. We're going to make sure we have some nice roundness and some volume to these things. Kind of like what I showed you guys here on a previous stream, where I took some of these simplified boxes that we have here and then showed you how to shape them up a little bit more, you know, give it a little bit more anatomy, a little bit of gesture, a little bit of form and all of that stuff. Okay. So we're going to start off here by just kind of laying out a simple kind of gesture here for the torso and for the hips. I usually try to lock these in first because I feel like these are going to be the biggest and largest forms in the body. I think torso, hips, and head, if you can kind of simplify these out, I think you're in a really good spot to kind of make some interesting art for sure. So we're going to go ahead and do that one first. And again, at this stage, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm mostly just kind of focusing on laying out a ground start there, a little fundamental. And yeah, if you guys do want to draw along, you guys can draw along. Again, the sheets are available to grab on the Discord channel. If anything, I actually highly encourage it for those of you guys who might be practicing and drawing the upper body, and you want, you know, a little bit of practice on the weekend. I am streaming on a Saturday today. Also, thank you for the follows, Chico Will. Appreciate that. Thank you for the 200 bits, Prebis. Thank you for the follow earlier, Blah, Auka. We also got Drew. Thank you for the follow, and also Lucid. Appreciate all that, guys. But yeah, we're going to keep today's stream, again, pretty chill. Originally, I actually had hands planned for today's stream, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I think it's more unfortunately, I did have to work overtime yesterday for work. It's a pretty busy time for a lot of studios right now, animation studios, and we're trying to wrap up on like a really big episode. I don't know if it's going to be a trailer episode or that kind of thing, but basically they told me, they were like, hey, we're going to need you to work on this really big scene, and we're going to need you to do it fast. And so I ended up working overtime yesterday, unfortunately, and so I didn't have time to prepare the hand stream that I originally wanted to do. But honestly, I think this is actually a good stream and a good topic to go over, because while it is good to learn how to draw the human body from, you know, different components and really focus on specific parts, like just the head, just the torso, just the arms and stuff, I think it's really valuable to also, you know, work on combining all these pieces together and actually having them, you know, come in. Let's see here. What studio? So yeah, for those of you who are wondering what studio, I did mention it earlier in my intro, but I'll say it really quick. I currently work for the studio that made Castlevania. Right now I'm doing some animation over there, so I'm mostly working on animation scenes, either close-up shots of characters and stuff like that. So yeah, but for the specific studio, I work at Powerhouse Animation. So they do a lot of things, but mostly known for Castlevania, and that's why I just say the studio that made Castlevania, because I feel like if I say Powerhouse, some people are gonna be like, huh? Never heard of them, you know? But all right, so I started off here with some nice simple shapes that you guys can kind of work with. Again, there's so many different ways to approach these simple shapes. You can do boxes, you can do cylinders. As long as I think you're really capturing a lot of the volume, I think that's really the most important thing here to keep in mind, because volume is going to be, I think, one of the core principles that I think a lot of beginner artists should learn. And oftentimes it's what I see a lot of beginner artists struggling with. When I see a drawing from someone who's first starting out, I can tell right away if something looks really flat, or, you know, if they're just kind of starting out and they're focusing more on the symbolic images of things and not necessarily the actual representation of these things. Is Powerhouse in Texas? Yes, they are based in Austin, Texas. Though I work remotely and I'm here in good old Los Angeles. But yeah, don't worry. No, Maze. So Maze was like, yeah, good thing we're not doing hands today. We're still going to do hands. I want you guys to know we're still going to do a stream dedicated to hands, just not today. All right. So even though you're like, yeah, I'm free, we're not doing hands. We're going to do them. Okay. We're going to get to hands. We're going to get to legs. We're going to get to feet. Okay. We're going to do all of the body parts. Just got to be a little patient there. Oh no. No, it'll be a good thing. I think practicing hands honestly is a really good skill to learn. It's probably next to the face one of the things that is really good but also difficult to practice. I think hands, you're going to see a lot of hands in your time as an artist, right? You're going to be drawing a lot of hands for sure. Just at work, I was drawing so many hands and it's just so tough, man. Oh, nice. It's super awesome, Romy. Appreciate you joining in and stuff. And also thank you for the follows. Danielle, welcome in, guys. But yeah, I think today's going to be a really chill stream. You guys know me. I love the weekend. I think the weekend streams are like my favorite. The vibes are always good. The energy is always nice out here on a weekend stream. So yeah, all the body parts. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hands are so expressive. I think anything that has any complexity and expression, I think will be really difficult, right? So that's kind of why hands, faces are sometimes difficult to draw. But honestly, I think drawing in general can be difficult. So don't feel bad if you guys are like, man, Kaycem, what the heck? Drawing is tough. I get it, guys. All right, so as you guys can see, while I've been distracting you guys with talking and all this stuff, I've actually laid out here a general kind of structure for the body, right? We've got here the anatomy, but notice how we're not actually drawing all the muscles and all that stuff. I'm keeping these things nice and simplified to some of the basic forms that I like to personally use whenever I'm drawing out my characters, right? So we have here rounded shapes here for the head, a simplified torso, and these are going to be simple mannequins that you can use. But again, I always tell you guys, there are so many different types of mannequins, so don't feel like you have to be stuck using something like this, all right? But let me go add in some legs as well. Okay, we're gonna throw in some legs on here, and I think we should be good to actually start piecing in a little bit more form and stuff, a little bit more of the flesh of the human body here. But yeah, as you can see, even though we are using kind of these like boxy shapes and stuff, we're still considering things like gesture, right? So I'm still looking at the overall flow of things and all of that stuff. You know, I'm adding in some curvature for the spine and all that. So we're still thinking about these things, even though we're using much more rigid shapes, right? Rigidity is good for understanding volume, but it's not really good for understanding gesture. So always practice your gesture and all of that stuff when you're doing these things. So let me just, you know, do a little bit of rotation here, move things around. Let's see if I can do a little bit of that. A quick little tip that I learned when I was studying over at CDA was something that's really nice about faces is you'll see that faces usually follow a nice rhythm where it's flat here on the side that has complexity and then rounded in the back here where it's a little bit more simple. And so an easy gestural technique you can do if you are, for example, doing storyboards or just rough animations and stuff, if you want to do a quick shorthand for drawing faces, just go like this, flat side and the flat side there, add a curve on the side there. And this alone already tells you where the face is looking and where the front side of the face is. So it's kind of a nice, easy trick if you're looking for some nice shorthands. But again, you know, find what works best for you. And yeah, let's get this one going here. Love it when artists draw different body types. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more of that later on. So as you guys know, we've actually covered a few of that already on my streams where we've done for example, I've shown you guys not only how to draw different body types, but to actually understand how different body types occur. And we're going to be talking about things like muscle percentages. We're going to be talking about body fat ratios and how the body fat actually alters the body depending on the how much body fat there is in the body, right? So we're going to be doing more of that later on in the stream as well, but I want to cover all the anatomy first, just knock out everything there. And then from there, I'll show you guys how to take all these components of the body and really mix it up and add a bit more to give variety to your designs. But today we're going to be focusing on more muscular characters because I think they are going to be the easiest to visualize the anatomy for. It's really hard to learn anatomy if you're only studying a fat character or a very skinny character, because oftentimes they're going to be either dictated, or the shapes are going to be dictated either by the fat or the skeletal anatomy, right? So that's the reason why we're using these muscular references today. But let's see here. We're going to be tackling the lower limbs later. Yeah, so don't worry. We're working our way down from head, torso, arms, hands, legs, then feet. Okay. But yeah, welcome in. Thank you for all the follows today. So many follows today. Azawiya, Andy, Lachaz, Rate, Tote, BC Slides, Chris, and everybody else coming in. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. What is the best to learn first, gesture or anatomy? Oh, gesture, 100%. I always tell you guys that anatomy is really something that it's more of like a secondary topic to learn. I think it's good to learn, but really only focus on it once you've really nailed down some of the basic shapes. I think the two core fundamentals for drawing characters, if you want to work in character design or whatever have you, is to really focus on the simple shapes, and then also focus on gesture. I think those are really the two core fundamentals. Perspective is also up there too. Did you ever draw characters from that anime? And if yes, where can I find them? I have not. No, I've not worked on any animes. I wish I did. I work on different productions, so Western productions. So again, I work at Powerhouse, so anime adjacent, I would say. Anime adjacent, but not, I haven't worked on like Bleach or anything. That'll be super sick. That'll be a cool goal in life, to just knock out a Bleach, work on Bleach for like a season or something, or an episode even. But yeah, welcome in. Thank you everybody for all the follows today. Zero recommended you. Who's Zero? Zero? Another, wait, what? Is that where you guys are all coming from? Who's Zero? Is this a streamer? Huh? Interesting. A shout out to Zero. I don't know. Maybe I do know Zero. Somebody let me know who's Zero. A streamer? Is their name just Zero? That's like their name? Because that's kind of a dope name. What the heck? You can't. I'm not sure who Zero is. I came on my own free will. Yeah, shout out to people who came here. Whether you guys actually here, let me ask everybody who's coming in right now. For those of you who are here for the first time, how did you guys find my stream? Was it through recommended? Was it through the front page? Was it through a streamer who just decided to shout me out for some reason? I'd love to know. Not sure about who Zero is. I see. My wisdom guided you here. Hey, super cool. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a bit about the forms here that we can kind of work with, right? So let's actually start fleshing out here and carving out some of the structure that we have of this pose. So I drew out some of the basic shapes, but now let's go in here and let's lock in some of the components that I think are really important. Now, we're not going to go over all the anatomy today, all right? We're going to be going over some of the core features that I think are really important. And then from there, we'll talk a bit about some of the shapes and stuff. Because I feel like today, I don't know, I want to keep things nice and chill today. I think we've done a lot of anatomy. And so I want to show you guys maybe the most important ones. Like if you wanted a TLDR, right? A TLDR on which anatomy, which forms are the most important, this is going to be that. All right, so the first one I want to call out for you guys is going to be the clavicle here, all right? Now, the clavicle is also known as the collarbone, all right? Now, the collarbone is interesting because the collarbone actually is a major connection from the head to the torso, so all the neck muscles connect to it, some of the back muscles connect to it, the pectoral muscles connect to it, and even the shoulder actually connects to this clavicle bone here, so it's really good to know. Other things that are interesting about the clavicle is you can have the torso and the rib cage in one position, but raising the arm like this will actually move the clavicle. So here you can have the torso not moving at all, but if you raise the arm like this, notice how that'll actually shift up there, the collarbone. So that's kind of what's going on here with this pose, all right? So when she's raising her arm like this, you're going to be seeing there, those clavicle bones are going to be going up. But thank you for all, there's so many follows today. I'm genuinely wondering if you guys are bots now, because we got like, okay, we got like 1 follow, that's cute. We got like 2 follows, that's cute. Now we got like 10 follows, we got like 11 follows, and now I'm like, what's going on here? Why do we keep, am I on the front page again? Hold on. No, right? I'm not on the front page, right? Okay. I don't know what's going on. It's the most common, but it's actually a pretty easy bone. Twitch boosting me, sheesh. All right, well, anyways, let's just keep it going. I guess we'll keep the party rolling. Thank you for all the shout outs, all the follows today, whether you're coming in from who knows where, who knows what. Am I on the front page? Oh, really? Thank you again, everybody coming in here. What the heck? All right, well, we're on the front page today. Shout out to all the front pagers. Here we go again. All right, round 2, baby. All right, so let's talk about this. So let's go in here, and before we jump into the rest of the torso, I actually want to get into the arms really quick, because I think the arms are going to be a pretty prominent part of this pose, right? Now, how many of you guys in the chat put an F in the chat? All right, if you ever try to draw characters where their arm is raised like this and you had no clue, you're just like, yo, what the heck actually is going on right now? All right. Put an F in the chat real quick. Let's see. I know I'm putting an F in the chat for this. All right. Because if you have struggled with this, I'm going to reveal to you guys how to better understand what the heck is going on here. So that way, when you actually knock out these drawings, you'll be like, okay, Kaycem, never again shall I be afraid of the armpits. All right. Yeah. There you go. Until you learn anatomy for your job. Yeah. Until you have to learn how it works, it's going to be confusing. All right. But thank you for the subs today, and I really appreciate all of you guys coming out here. By the way, I do run ads on my stream every hour. One's gonna be running in about a minute or so. So if you do get an ad, thank you again for sticking around for the ad break. But if you don't want to see any ads, consider subscribing or using a Prime sub. But either way, appreciate the support, and yeah, stick around and find out is what they say. Okay, thank you for the Prime subs, guys. All right, but yeah, and I guess welcome in. There's so many of you guys here today. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this section of the arms, because I do want to go over it a little bit. And we've actually talked about this section pretty in depth, so we're gonna do it again. Yeah, so some of you guys already know this, which is great. I'm glad to hear that some of you guys know the anatomy. If not, it's okay. We're gonna go over it, so don't sweat. All right. So really quick, one of the most important muscles to know when it comes to connecting the head to the torso and stuff, it's gonna be right here. This is gonna be known as the deltoids. Now, what's really interesting about the deltoid muscle, guys, is the deltoid basically is going to be connecting here to that clavicle that we mentioned earlier. It's also going to be connecting to something called the acromion process, which we're not really going to see as much here. And then last but not least, it's going to be also connecting to the arm here, also known as the humerus bone, not to be confused with me being funny, which I also am. I'm not. I'm actually not funny. I'm an educational art streamer. How funny... How funny can you get? Anyways, so we're gonna go here the deltoids, and the deltoids are gonna be a pretty big part. You can actually see how that wraps in. And what's really cool is another component here that I think is really important is actually gonna be the chest muscles, also known as the pectoral muscles, and those are going to also connect here to the clavicle. All right, and they're going to wrap in, and they're going to kind of connect here to the to that arm as well, right? And so that's why when you see here what's going on, this muscle here of the arm and of the deltoid, the deltoid and the pectorals here, they're going to kind of create this wrapped out form. All right. Now we're going to go in here and I'm going to just talk quickly about the biceps. Now the biceps, because she's flexing her arms, they're also going to be nice and rounded over here. So if you guys didn't know, when you're actually using your muscles, they're going to be rounded out, and then when you're not using those muscles, they're going to be a little bit stretched, right? Also, guys, please avoid from promoting all the links and stuff of other people on the streams. It's just, you know, makes it easier to stream. But all right. Someone's being naughty. No, it's cool. I'll check it out later. I appreciate you letting me know about Zero. I'll see who they are and stuff. But yeah, here we're going to put in the bicep right here, and then you're going to see actually, or maybe you're not really going to see it, but there's actually going to be a muscle right here, and this muscle is going to be known as the coracobrachialis. It's kind of a muscle that connects here. That's a nice triangular shape that you'll oftentimes only really see when you have the arm raised in this position. Now, we're going to go ahead and do it on both sides, but I wanted to knock it out here first because I think it's going to be easier. Now, as we kind of go down here like this, we're going to kind of bring that in. Bicep is there. We're going to have the brachialis, which is a muscle underneath the bicep. All right. And then from there, let's just follow the rhythms here. So again, I'm going to try to avoid doing too much anatomy here today because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I want to keep it nice and chill. So let's kind of take a step back here and let's just talk about how to kind of ease your way into drawing something like this after you've done some of the basic shapes, right? So let's say you don't want to know the anatomy. You're like, Kaycem, this is too much. This is too much anatomy for me. Let's talk about the basics here. So how can you simplify this arm? Well, here's how I think about it. The best way to understand the forms of the body without having to understand the anatomy is to learn how the body works. There are many ways to do that. Observe yourself, touch yourself, educationally, of course. Go to the gym, right? But here's a quick one for the arms, okay? When you take the arm and when you curl the arm like this, you're using your bicep muscle there, and that is going to actually create some volume that's going to make this one squash, and it's going to make the tricep there stretch out over here. Okay, when you extend your arm like so, and let's say you're, I don't know, doing, my bad, when you're doing a stretch or something, your tricep muscle here is going to be the one that's flexing, and you'll see a bit more of a bulge there, and your bicep muscle is going to stretch, right? So what's going on right now is because she's curling her arms, you're going to be seeing here more of a curve here for the bicep and more of a stretch here for the arm there. Yes, educationally, guys, please. I'm not trying to get banned on Twitch. I know you are recommending me out here. I swear we're a regular stream. We don't do sus things out here, okay? But there you go. That is going to be the general idea for the arms. Again, if you guys want the more juicy anatomy, I would recommend taking a look at my other previous videos, either on YouTube or on Twitch, where I do go over a lot more in depth, all the anatomy that we're going to be seeing today. Now, I'm still going to draw them out for you guys. So, you know, I'll still talk about them and draw them out, but I'm not going to go super in depth about them. All right. And I am drawing on the iPad today. Yes. Drawing on the iPad, and I'm using something called the Sketchboard Pro. It's a pretty cool, nice, nifty tool. So I'll just draw them out here for you guys, and then you guys can, in your own leisure, practice it out yourself. Maybe check out my other videos. All right. Yeah, if somebody can drop a link to the Sketchboard Pro, just type in iPad stand or something like that, and I think that should be good. All right, but there you go, nice and easy. All right, okay. And then we'll go in here. I'm gonna taper out the wrist really quick, and we've also got here the forearm muscles. Now the forearm muscles are basically comprised of three major groups. You have here the flexor, extensors, and the ridge muscles. Okay, there you go. Twitch execs, let's promote Kaycem. Kaycem, guys, touch yourself. I swear I'm a regular streamer. Damn. Honestly, though, I don't know why Twitch has been promoting me so much recently. But you know what? I'm not complaining. Shout out to Twitch, and shout out to you guys for coming out here, being so active in the community. It does mean a lot to me. As you know, as you guys may not know, streaming is my second job out here, and I try to put my heart and soul into streaming. I love streaming. So I love streaming. I love teaching out here on Twitch. And so I hope I can keep doing this to the best of my ability for as long as I can with you guys. So appreciate you guys. All right, but let's go in now. All right, so we got here the other arm. We got here this arm. I'm going to go back now and let's kind of lay out some of the torso that we got here for this character, or this reference, I should say. Okay. Now, some of the cool things here, and I'll talk a little bit about the simplified shapes here for the torso. So when it comes down to the torso, I like to visualize here a couple things. One, we're going to have the pectoral muscles right here. But again, we're not going to talk too much about the anatomy. Two, we're going to have here the abdominal muscles, and those are actually going to taper from the fifth rib right here. So kind of from the clavicle here to the 10th rib, halfway through there is going to be that fifth rib cage, or sorry, the fifth rib of the rib cage, and we're going to kind of follow that taper down. And so you can imagine here, when you're drawing the ab muscles, just kind of find a flow there and a taper, which will allow you to create some of this arch right here. So you can kind of see how already we've got here a nice set of abs. And then also don't forget that the ribs are going to be peeking out a little bit here. And so you're going to see with this reference as well, especially because she's stretching out there, we're going to be seeing some of that rib cage kind of like right here. All right. And we're going to see some of that on the other side too. All right. Okay. Currently using Procreate. Yes, I am using Procreate right now, and it's been pretty good. Extensors, flexors, and radialis groups still confuse me, especially in various viewpoints. So we actually talked about that on this stream, where we go over the flexors, extensors, and the brachioradialis. And I actually show you guys how it works like this. So again, highly recommend that stream. Day 12. We cover a lot out here. Why do knees exist? Knees exist because knees basically are an important joint in the lower in the legs that comprise of things like the three bones of the tibia, the fibula, and also the femur bone there. It's also comprised of the kneecap, also known as the patella, as well as a few a few ligaments there as well. So it's a major connection. It exists, and it's bulgy. If you're going to ask me why it looks the way it does, I don't know. Okay, I don't know why human evolution decided to make knees look so knobby and stuff, but they do. So, but all right, so we're going to go ahead here and add a little bit of an arch. And again, I'm going to keep some of the anatomy simple for you guys. And let's go in, and before we draw in the rest of the torso and stuff, let me actually, I'll just put in her clothing here. But before we jump into the rest of this, let's go ahead and talk about this other arm here, because I think this is going to be one of the harder parts of this reference for those of you who are maybe following along and stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and do that one, and then we will hopefully not be too scared. You can bend them. Yeah, you can bend the knees. You can do a lot of things with the knees. It exists for arthritis. Yo, I woke up today and my knees hurt. Oh no, am I getting old, guys? Damn, my knees actually were hurting today when I woke up. I was like, what's going on? Is it the weather? It could just be that it's cold, but yeah, it's rough out here. We're trying our best though. Thank you for the follows today. Really do appreciate all the follows out here today. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the stream so far. I'll do a little intro of myself later, because I know that I give my intro a lot. So if you guys are new here and wondering who I am, my name is Kaycem. Yeah, I teach art for now. I'll tell you about the other things. Okay, let's talk about this section right here. Okay. So yeah, I want to clarify. For those of you wondering, I did not work on Castlevania. I joined after Castlevania was finished. But I do work for the studio that made Castlevania, and yeah, I'm working on some cool stuff right now, which I just can't say anything because it's NDA. Okay, let's just keep it at that. But I do work in the animation industry, yes, and yeah, and this is what I do on the side. This is what I do for funsies. I teach art on Twitch, and I really like it, honestly. I think streaming on Twitch has been a great way for me just to one get my own practice in, but also a great way just to give back to the community that honestly helped me get started with art in the first place. Like, if it wasn't for Twitch, guys, I wouldn't be drawing today. I've told this story a few times, but the TLDR is that basically I decided to stop drawing after high school, and I didn't draw there was a 6-year period where I didn't even draw at all, like nothing at all, no drawing. And if it wasn't for me deciding to start streaming on Twitch just for fun, I honestly would probably still not be drawing today. So shout out to you guys for being such a dope community, helping me out in my early rough days of figuring out how to draw again. And honestly giving me that motivation to quit my job as an engineer and pursue all of this stuff full time. So you guys are dope. Didn't work in Castlevania. We're gonna work on it. work at it. Let's just say there's a lot of things going on. Okay, I'm just not gonna say anything. But I do work on some animations and stuff. Powerhouse is actually really interesting for those of you who are curious about Powerhouse. What's really interesting about Powerhouse is that the studio is one of the only few studios in the US that actually does in-house animation. And by that, I mean that a lot of studios nowadays basically will go to overseas, like a Korean studio or a Japanese studio, and have their animations done there, right? So they'll send over their storyboards, all of that stuff, and then they'll have somebody, work on that, right? What's really cool about Powerhouse is Powerhouse actually does their studio stuff in-house. So we still have overseas and stuff, but we also do a lot of stuff in-house to make those really nice, juicy animations. And so sometimes I work on stuff like that where I have to do some really tough animation. Animating is tough. I don't envy anybody who's like, yeah, I'm an animator, as it's tough work. It's a head scratcher for sure. Have I met Spencer Wan? No, I wish. I've been to a couple of his workshops, but he doesn't work at Powerhouse anymore. He has his own studio. I would love to work with Spencer Wan at some point. Thank you for all the follows today, guys. But okay, so I'm going over the arms here really quick. I'm like speedrunning the arms, my bad. Let's go talk about the arms here again. So we've already done the arms on this side, on the other side there. So we're gonna do the same kind of logic that we've done here, except now I'm gonna talk a little bit about what's going on with the armpit section right here. Now, primarily, one of the main things I'm going to call out here is going to be, one, the deltoid muscle again, right? Underneath the deltoid muscle is going to be the insertion there of the, none other than the pectoral muscle. So this combination, oh shoot, thank you for the sub, Mirror but this combination here basically of the pectorals as well as the deltoids is going to make up this rounded shape right here. Keep in mind also, guys, that the boobas, okay, this section right here is on top of and is part of the pectoral section there of the torso. So when you're raising the arms, guess what? You get what I'm saying? Rise up, okay? So we're going to be seeing some of that connection here as well. Now, underneath all that right here, this major chunk of muscle that we're seeing is actually it's a combination of the lat muscles on the backside there. All right, so the lat muscles over here, which wrap around from the spine, go towards the front side and actually connect into the humerus bone right here. So I should probably draw this one out a little bit more like that. And there's this section right here also creates a little bit of that armpit section. So this pocket right there. And then from here, we're going to go into now the upper arm. So from this section right here, we're also going to have the teres major. That's going to be another muscle right here. That's going to be originating from the backside, but wrapping towards the front side of the arm there. Again, you don't have to know all the anatomy, but I'm explaining it for you guys so you can kind of understand what the heck is going on there with the actual forms and stuff. Okay, and here you have this pocket of armpit there, and then you have here the coracoid brachialis, which is going to go connect all the way here, and then you're going to have the bicep. Okay, so there you go. We've kind of cracked the code there. And then last but not least, let's go in and let me actually soften some of these lines, because again, you'll see here that you're not really going to see all these lines when you're drawing your characters out, so you don't have to draw them all. I always tell you guys, you know, draw what you think is most important, right? Please explain further. Maybe another day. Catch me on my late night streams where we go more in depth. Okay, not today, not on the Saturday mornings. All right, Saturday mornings are for Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah, I think she's a great reference. Lean Beef Patty is who we're using as a reference today. I think she's really great because she has a lot of good muscular definition, but also I think it's oftentimes when you look at muscular references, you're going to be finding muscular references of male characters, or not male models and stuff like that. So it's nice to have to see a female have all this muscular definition to use as well, because it's, I think, different, right? I think the structure of drawing a female character that's muscular will actually give you a few subtle changes than drawing like a male character who's muscular instead, right? So subtle changes there, but I think they're fun to work with. The anatomy for the most part is going to be the same, though there are going to be, again, some just slight variations to keep in mind. Okay, so here we're going to have that elbow locking in, and keep in mind that the tricep muscle, which is going to be right here, actually connects here into the elbow there and kind of creates that tendon. Okay, then here we're going to have that muscle of the inner muscle there of the flexors on the inner side, nice and easy onto the medial side there of the elbow. And then from there, we're going to wrap it all the way down. And then we've got the arm. All right, we kind of sped run through all of this, but it's okay. Now, obviously, I think it's going to be a lot easier to see the muscle definition on her, mostly because she has some good shadows and lighting there. So just kind of keep that in mind. But let's kind of go in now, and let me kind of push this one out just a tad bit. Add a little bit of definition there. But I would say really the most important thing is going to be that section of the section right here of that armpit is going to really hopefully make more sense once you start studying it, right? So again, lat muscles on the back side. You're going to see a little bit here of the shoulder muscle on this side as well. So it's going to kind of wrap around this arm right here. What was my favorite Saturday morning cartoon? Oof. That's tough because I mean, I watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh when I was younger. I think Yu-Gi-Oh was one of my favorites growing up. And then Dragon Ball Z was pretty good when they had that running. But honestly, I think Jackie Chan Adventures, I don't know if you guys have heard of Jackie Chan Adventures, underrated. Underrated show, one of my favorites growing up as a kid. And I actually ended up rewatching it recently just to see, like, is it as good as I remember, you know? Oh man. Man, oh man. That was it was good. It's surprisingly still a good show. I don't know if you guys know it. Samurai Jack was good too, but I didn't see I don't think Samurai Jack ran as a Saturday morning cartoon. Did it? I don't know. But what about you guys? Let me know in the chat real quick. Saturday morning cartoons. Here, let me do it in the Jason voice because we got a redemption here from Quididdy. All right, here we go.
Hey guys, it's me, Jason out here, and I got an important question to ask everybody here. What is your favorite Saturday morning cartoons? All right.
And if you guys are young and have no clue what Saturday morning cartoons are, you missed out. I'm just gonna say it now, okay? If you are young and you're watching my chat and you're like, huh? What the heck is Saturday morning cartoons? I don't know what that is. Okay, you missed out. I'm just gonna tell you now, all right? There was no better rush as a kid, no better adrenaline, waking up in the morning with a bowl of cereal or whatever have you, and turning on the TV and getting back-to-back fresh episodes, sometimes reruns, let's be real, all right? But man, those were the days. I tell you guys this all the time. My nephew, it was his birthday the other day, yesterday or 2 days ago, he doesn't understand it. He doesn't get Saturday morning cartoons. He's always just like, I don't get it, uncle. I could just turn on Netflix. Why is that so cool? Why is it cool to wait for stuff to come out on a weekend? I'm like, that's the point. That's the point. You gotta wait for it. You gotta get excited. I don't know. Nephew doesn't understand. It's all right. It's okay, nephew. All right, but let's get into the rest of the body here. All right. So now we're gonna go into the torso, and interestingly enough, we're not really gonna see it on her, so I'm not gonna draw it on this reference, or maybe we should. But we're gonna keep it nice and simple. All right, let's go in here now. We're gonna find that taper there, and a few other muscles I'm gonna call out here is gonna be one, the oblique muscles on the side right here. Gonna wrap around that pelvis, taper back down right here, create some of that volume. All right. Here she has some pretty well-defined abs, so I'm going to kind of find that abdominal line right there, find that belly button, which is going to be kind of like right here, and then we can talk a little bit about abs today. Do you guys want me to talk about abs? Let me know in the chat real quick. Are we feeling like abs today, or are we kind of like, abs? We don't need to learn that today, Kaycem. Abs, schmabs, whatever. If we don't need to know abs today, it's cool. We can move on. We don't gotta cover it, you know? All right, but let's go add here the glutes here. We got here the gluteus medius, gluteus maximus. We got here the greater trochanter, which we're not worrying about these today, so don't worry too much. I'm just drawing them out for you guys. But then we're gonna have here a little bit more volume on the front side. Now we're gonna have some of the TFL, tensor fascia latae, and then we're gonna wrap around the form here like so. There you go. And okay, apparently everybody wants abs. Damn. Am I pumped for the 16-inch iPad that should be releasing later this year? No way. Is it actually? I've heard rumors of the 16-inch, but no one ever officially said it's coming out. If that is true, if the 16-inch iPad has officially been brought out and said that they're going to be releasing it, there is no question asked. I will buy it. I've been waiting for it. I've been wanting the 16-inch iPad. You guys know, you've been watching my streams. If it's actually coming out, I will get it. Okay? No questions asked. But I feel like you're trolling me. I feel like you're trolling me, man. Don't get my hopes up like this. It's a TV. Yeah, basically. All right, let's talk about abs really quick. Okay, so here's how to do abs. Okay, the easiest way to draw abs, I'm gonna show it to you guys right now. Basically, you want to start off first by drawing in here the center line. All right, so draw in the center line here of the torso. We're gonna bring it out like this. And thank you for the sub. Appreciate that, Nemesis. So let's go ahead and find here the center line of the torso, right? Find that across the body there where the body's symmetrical. And then again, we already did some of the tapering here, right? So we tapered out here the body going this way, and we brought it all the way down here. Now from here, to find the first set of abs, the thing that I like to do is I find the 10th rib cage, or the 10th rib of the rib cage. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go touch your body here, educationally right here. Okay, maybe if I do this, it might be a little less sus for Twitch. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay, if you touch right here, guys, you'll actually find bony protrusions on both sides of your torso, and this is going to be known as the 10th ribs of the rib cage. Now from here to the clavicle, if you go halfway, all right, that's going to be where that 5th rib is going to be. And from there, you can actually go ahead now and you can you can kind of find that taper all the way down to the pelvis here. But also, this is going to be roughly where the first or the second set of abs are going to land. So I like to kind of go here, halfway mark from where the abdominals are, and we're going to kind of find it like right here. Bring that rhythm there for the abdominals, right? And you can kind of add here like a zigzag pattern almost. You can kind of imagine how it looks like. And there you go. Look at that. Easy peasy. Abs. And then from there, we're going to have here the 3rd set of abs going down here, like so. And we're going to kind of bring in that taper as well. Looks like she has some pretty well-defined abs there. But that's really it for abs. That makes sense? That's all you got to do, okay? Again, 10th rib, 5th rib right here. Cut that in half. That's going to be the first 2 set of abs. The 3rd set of abs are going to be at the belly button right here. Okay, there you go. And then from there, just add in here some zigzag patterns. Was it too fast? That's the point. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? But here's the trick to drawing abs. I think the trick to drawing abs also is that abs are going to be a little bit asymmetrical. They're not going to be perfectly symmetrical oftentimes. And so keeping that in mind and adding some of that will actually give you some more natural look and feel to your drawings than if you were to try to draw it out super symmetrical. But yeah, that's the tutorial there on abs. I know that might have been a little fast. Sorry. I wish there was an easier way. Let me see if I can explain it again. A simpler way than that. Let's see. So here, I'll do it like this. Okay, I'll do it like this. Let's do it on this diagram right here. Hopefully this will make a little bit more sense. Okay, so imagine this diagram that we have right here of a simple box, all right? Simple box, and I've actually labeled out here the 5th rib and all of that stuff, right? So if you take this simple box, and if you go here, the 5th rib, again, halfway from the clavicle to the 10th rib right here, right? We're gonna bring down a taper. We're gonna taper all the way down to the pelvis, like so. Look how far down, look how large the abdominal muscles are, right? If you do all this, from here to here, okay? Here to here, and then here to here, that's the 10th rib. Like imagine the rib right here. This right here is going to be the first 2 set of abs. Okay, so you can kind of go like this, add whatever zigzag pattern you want. I like to do a little bit of this like that. Then we're going to kind of double it down like that. And then last but not least, from 10th rib down to pelvis, roughly is going to be where that belly button is going to be. And then you can do one more set right there. And that's going to be that 6-pack. Okay. Then from there, you're going to wrap all these, wrap these around the rib cage there. So there's going to be the oblique muscles and the serratus muscles right here, which we didn't really talk about today. So don't worry too much about that. That's more for my anatomy friends here, right? But those wrap around there. We have here the flank side of the obliques, and that's going to kind of go like this, wrap around this way. And there you go. Hopefully this is a little bit easier to see. Basically, you got here, again, the first 2 are going to be the most important. Find the belly button, and roughly around the belly button is going to be that other set of abs there. Okay. Did that make more sense? Let me know in the chat. I know when we did it here. Oh, so yeah, so around the belly button area there, that the bottom section right here is part of the abdominals, but it's not what is known as the 6-pack that people know. and know and love. That's actually known as the 40 ounce. It's a little bit lower there. But again, I also want to preface that there are some people who have an 8-pack, who have a 6-pack. So that does happen on occasion, right? So you might see a delineation sometimes with somebody who's like very lean and has a very interesting striation there. You might get something like a 10-pack like this, which honestly is insane. I'm over here with a 1 sack. So you telling me people got a 10-pack, an 8-pack or whatever? Okay, calm down there, chief. But anyways, there you go. That's the little demo there using that box shape. Yeah, shout out to the 1 sack gang. There you go. Happy 1 hour anniversary of streaming today. 1 hour. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was like, what? 1 hour anniversary? Yeah, you can even go to 12. It's insane. The human body is wild. But yeah, again, I hope you guys have been enjoying today's stream. If it's your first time here, by the way, let me give a quick intro of myself. My name is Kaycem. I am a Filipino art streamer here on Twitch, and I teach everything from anatomy, gesture, perspective, to all things related to character design. And I also work full-time in the animation industry for the studio that made Castlevania. Right now, I'm prepping to work as a character designer on shows like Castlevania, Legend of Korra, and Invincible. So if you guys are interested in some free art education out here on Twitch, or you're just looking to hang out with my dog, who is way over there trying to get some sleep, make sure to leave a follow, join in, and I hope you enjoy today's stream. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Because I know there's a lot of new people here joining in today. I honestly, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on today. Twitch has been putting me up. I don't know if I'm still on the front page or not, but even if I'm not, welcome in everybody who's coming in here. If you did just find me today, I would love to know. Genuinely, I'd love to know how you guys came across my stream. If it was through recommended, front page, a streamer perhaps, or I don't know. Was it through a friend of a friend? Was it through my YouTube channel? Maybe, possibly. Also, we got a Puppy Power redemption. Let's do this. No, so not necessarily Powerhouse, just in general, I want to work on productions like that. I want to work on productions like Invincible and Legend of Korra. So it's not like Powerhouse is doing all those things. And even if they were doing any of those things, I'm not going to tell you guys. Nice try. I'm not going to reveal any secrets. But yeah, you found me on the front page, recommended on the front page. Okay. Do you have any videos or past streams where you go through gestures? Yes, I do go through them, but I think I might have to make a new one. So I used to have a video on my YouTube channel, by the way. But that one I made so long ago. I made that one like 2 years ago, and I feel like my art has improved so much since then, and so I want to make a new one. But I would say check out my YouTube channel, see if there's anything there. Or here's what we'll do. How about for today, Monkey Boy, I'll do some gestures on this one. All right, we'll do a gestural one here, so that way you can get a little bit of that gesture today. Because I do think gesture is important, and I think it's a very important part of understanding the human body, especially the torso. All right, so we'll do some gestures. We'll knock out a gestural drawing here. But I would say this one's mostly done. Let's just work on the head really quick because, you know, why not? Let's work on that. And let me shrink out some of these components here of the body. Oh, and I should draw the hands too, huh? Yeah, no, we'll draw the hands too. So there's actually a good amount we can do for this reference here. Okay. There you go. We're getting all of these things in here. And yeah, let's go draw the head real quick, okay? So again, today's stream is, you can think of today's stream as kind of a combination of all the things we've learned so far on my stream. So everything from the torso anatomy to the arm anatomy to, of course, last but not least, the actual thing that we started off with on this on my boot camp, which was none other than the good old head. So we're going to talk a little bit about drawing the head again, bringing back some of the basics there, right? So again, when it comes to drawing out the neck, I would say the most important thing about the neck is really understanding how the neck volume works, how it tapers a little bit there from the skull as it connects to the rib cage and stuff, but also understanding some of the other components here, like the sternocleidomastoid there. We've got here the tapering this way, and then let's kind of go in and start loosely drawing out here some of the structures. But let me actually, hold on, let's go draw out the head first before we draw out anything like the hair. So you can imagine here for this character, let's just kind of have the ears right here, placing that down. And I know how to place this here because I'm, again, following the gesture here of that neck, and I'm going to follow that jawline there. She's kind of looking down, so you're going to see a little bit more down going this way. We're having maybe a little bit of a shadow actually right here. So let me do a little bit of that and actually bring in the neck a little bit more. So I'm gonna thin her neck out just a tad bit there, right? And so we're gonna kind of add in here a little bit more of a general shape for the head, and let's go in and draw a little bit more on here, a little bit kind of more juicy detail. Also, Ink of Violet, hey, thank you for the follow. I was actually watching your stream earlier. Let me give you a shout out. Appreciate that. Did your stream just end? Let me see here. Ink of Violet. Why won't it let me? Okay, I can't type. Shout out to Ink of Violet. I can't spell Violet. Okay, let's see if that works. If it doesn't work, maybe my mods can help out. All right, but let's go in here and let's start working on the face really quick now. So we've got here a general structure. Again, I'm going to be using, let me see here. Do we want to go over heads today? How much detail? Let me ask you guys in the chat. Do you guys want me to go over a breakdown of the head, or should we just kind of speed run the head here? What do you guys feel in the chat today? Because I'm kind of down to do either or with you guys. Deep dive in the head? You sure? Breakdown of the head would be nice. Okay. All right, we've got two people say that. All right. Well, I guess we'll do it then. Let's go ahead and do a deep dive of the head. So when it comes down to the head, one of the things that I always tell people, the most important thing I usually tell people is going to be this, okay? If you want to draw really good heads and you're a beginner artist and you're trying to figure out how to draw the heads, one of the best things you can do for yourself is to really understand the 3D volume, okay? 3D volume of the head here. So keep in mind that the head is not just going to be a circle. It's not just, hold on, it's not just going to be a circle like this, and then you put down a line and you put down a triangle jaw, okay? This is how I used to draw. Back when I was still, learning how to draw, and I'd read those Christopher Hart how to draw manga books, this is how they taught it to you, which is a good way to start drawing for sure. But if you really want to level up and stuff and draw heads from different angles, you want to be able to move away from this, so don't do this anymore, and instead visualize this circle, not as a circle, but instead as a sphere. And the reason why is because the sphere is actually a good representation for the skull. And by the skull, I'm talking about the cranium there. So stuff like the frontal bone, you got the parietal bone, you've got the occipital bone over there in the back. So all of these bony structures create kind of this rounded shape here, but also it's a little bit cut out here on the side. If you actually touch your own head right now, you'll see how it's a little bit flatter there on the sides of the face, whereas it's a little bit more rounder on the top and stuff, okay? But now from here, we're going to add kind of this, we're going to bring it down at the center line right there, and we're going to bring this down here, and this section is going to be known as the jaw, but for those of you who want the skeletal term, it's going to be known as the mandible there, okay? So the mandible there is part of the jaw, and it's going to be the lower jaw there, which is going to open out at an hinge, okay? So again, these are going to be general structures and general shapes to kind of give you guys a guideline. If you guys want the more in-depth anatomy tutorial of this, I would actually recommend checking out, I believe, day one. Yeah, so day one of my boot camp, I actually go over, as you guys can see here, all the very skeletal details like the frontal bone, the mandible, how it connects to the neck and all of that stuff. The hyoid bone, all of that. So that is actually what we covered on the first couple days of my boot camp, which is pretty juicy, pretty hefty stuff there. But for today's stream, we're going to be going over the more general structures that you should know, right? So from here, we're going to find that center line. And then here's what I like to do. I like to find here where I want that hairline to be. All right. And if you have a character that's bald or whatever, or balding, just keep in mind that the hairline usually is going to be that curvature transition from the forehead here when it starts to curve to the back of the head. So from there, I like to kind of find that rhythm, and then find here, I like to go in and say, okay, from here to here is going to be roughly the same distance from here to here. All right. So that's going to be about a third of the way here. Each, boom, boom, boom. And then from there, that's going to give us the general structure and landmark of the face. Other things I'm going to add here is going to be the side plane there for the jaw, for the cheeks and all that stuff. We'll bring it down to the other side here. And I would say this is going to be the basic structure that I like to usually go for when I'm adding in, details for a face. Now, again, we're bypassing a lot of the anatomy. All right, we're going to bypass a lot of the details, but I think this is a good kind of place to start. There you go. Hopefully that made some sense there. I'll write down some things here, like 1/3. So we're gonna do like 1/3, 1/3. Why can't I write 1/3? There you go, 1/3. All right. But let's go ahead and see how this applies to the drawing that we have over here. And let me actually erase this because I think you guys are good. You guys know now. All right, let's go ahead now and let's draw out this person. And let me do a quick little switch like so. So here we're gonna draw out the eyes first. Now the eyes, I like to place the eyes about halfway on the head. And I think here she's kind of looking up. So let's kind of do that where she's maybe looking up at something, I guess. Now the eyes, I like to kind of put in a little bit of a taper, an angle here, not a taper, sorry, an angle here, because keep in mind that the way that faces and stuff are designed, the forehead is meant to cover and kind of protect the eyes there, and the upper eyelid is meant to protect the eyes down under it. And so you're going to actually see a little bit of a gradual kind of tilting going on there. And so here, let's go add in some of that face for her. I'm gonna give her kind of a softer facial features here. A little bit of a tapering here and a roundness for the other set of brows there. I don't have a, let me see here. I'll do it like this. Let me do this. Give me a sec. Oh, also this reminds me, guys, if you are new here, by the way, if you guys go to my Discord channel, all right, go to the Discord channel right here. You can actually grab all the resources on my stream. So you can grab this worksheet that we're doing today. So go ahead and grab this one. It's free to grab. You can grab what we covered last stream as well. So we covered drawing arms, dynamic arm poses from different angles. And then last but not least, you can grab this sheet right here, which actually covers a little bit more in depth the skeletal and muscular anatomy of the head. So this is something that we made last year when I was teaching. So go ahead and grab these guys. They're free to grab, but only while I'm live streaming here on Twitch. All right. If you're watching from YouTube afterwards, yeah, I'm sorry. They're gone. They're no longer there. They're not available. All right. But yeah, grab them now. They're free to grab. Just join the Discord channel for that. Okay. For the front page and got gripped by the content. Hey, that's good to hear. Thank you. I do hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. Okay, but let's go ahead and zoom in on the face here and let's start locking in some of the facial features. Now, one of the things that I want to call out is when you're drawing a face from this angle, it really depends, but I think for her, we're going to be seeing a little bit more of the nose here as well. So let's kind of add that nose bridge here, a little bit of the form, right? And we're going to use all the things that I talked about earlier, the breaking there into thirds, all of that stuff. So let's kind of lock that in here. Okay, so we got the nose there. So I'm kind of just chopping out here the structure here that we had earlier, right? We're going to kind of arch this back here. The eyes are going to be there, but we're not going to see too much of the eyes because of the angle again. So keep that in mind that from this perspective, we're not really going to be seeing the other eye too much, but we can denote it by adding in a little bit of the, just a little bit there of the, like the lash and stuff, right? Just kind of give a nice gesture. Let me go widen out her brows a little bit more. And then from there, let's see what else. The lips as well. So let's put the lips in here. Okay, there you go. And now we can erase a lot of these other details that we have here. Just keeping in subtle details for the lower lip and upper lip. Adding in here a bit of a shape there for the jaw. And there you go. We've got here a nice little face. Now, obviously, I'm going to clean it up a bit more, but just kind of showing you guys, again, some of the rough kind of details and stuff that I think about whenever I'm drawing, you know, my characters, right? Okay. And then let's go add in here. The glasses and all that other stuff. And this will just kind of help sell the character a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Okay, see? Damn, she buff, but also bald. So hold on, we need to add let's go add some hair to her. Okay, that way she'll look more like she's gonna look a little bit more like what's her name? Lean beef mommy or something? No, that's not right. Lean beef. I don't know. I always forget her name. Why add hair? I mean, we don't have to add hair. We can keep her bald, but just because the reference, she does have hair. So we're gonna add some hair to her, okay? And also thank you for all the follows, everybody. Serena, Bouquet, Thoy, Madtown, Baloney, JK Sarah, and everybody else coming in here today. Welcome into the Kaycem crew, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy today's stream. Lean beef patty. Sorry, yes, lean beef patty. That's exactly what I said. Not lean beef baldy. Thank you for the other follows as well. Okay, let's go add some hair into her, onto her head here, and let's talk a little bit about hair. Or actually, do you guys want me to go over the hair a lot today, or should I just speed run the hair? Like, how do you guys feel about hair tutorials today? Let me know in the chat if you guys are like, Kaycem, give us all the tutorials. Because I can just do a quick hair. I can just draw her hair out pretty fast. Speed run it. Wait. Okay, we're getting conflicting messages here. Let's do a poll. All right, I'm gonna do a quick poll for you guys. Hair tutorial. We'll do speed run or just break it down. All right, there you go. Skip the hair. Yeah, let me know in the chat. Vote right now. This seems pretty indecisive right now today. I don't know which one's gonna win. So let's go vote in the polls there. If you're watching from the front page or whatever, it's gonna be on my. You're just gonna have to trust chat. Okay, chat will let you know today if what's gonna be decided. But I'll start working out some of the rough shapes here. So whenever I do start drawing hair, I start by doing a rough silhouette of just kind of where I want the details to be. And again, I'm focusing primarily on overall large volume and shapes. I'm not focusing on details and trying to capture all of that stuff, right? We're going to focus that for later. Right now, we're just going to knock in all the rough shapes and get that out the way, all right? Let's see what the poll says. Wow. Wait, really? Damn. This is okay. This is a huge landslide. 20-80. What the heck? Also, my dog is here. Okay, while you guys vote, my dog really wants to say hi to you guys for some reason. All right, why not? Come here, buddy. Come here, jump up. Come on. Don't be shy. Here's my dog today for those of you guys who are here. He's being extra needy today on a weekend, but vote while you're still voting, I guess. And in the meantime, my dog will say hi. There you go. Oh, he's big. You got any knowledge for the viewers today? Nothing. No knowledge for the viewers today. You guys are on your own today, apparently. All right. All right, guys. Well, there you go. That's all the knowledge we're getting today. All right. Well, we've got here 80% of you guys want me to go over the hair today, so we'll do it. We'll go over the hair, but we'll only do it for this one. When we go over the other references today, we will just kind of speed run them out, okay? All right, so when it comes to drawing hair, the first step that I like to do, and we've already kind of done it, is I like to go in here and just establish the general shape of the hair, right? This is going to be known as the silhouette. We're going to be focusing here on a little bit of the general forms, just looking at the aesthetic, all right? I dropped everything I was doing and gave all my attention to this. Never knew how much I would enjoy this. Really? No way. Dude, this is what I'm getting emotional. Thank you, guys. You know, I always thought that teaching art on Twitch would be a little dull to some people, but I'm glad to hear that some of you guys are vibing with this and enjoying the content. That's what I like to hear. Makes me really happy to know that I'm putting stuff out here that people like. All right, but first step number 1 of drawing hair, okay? Simply just putting in the nice silhouette. We're just looking at the shapes, keeping it nice and simple, and I care mostly about just getting a nice rough shape there. Now, step number 2 when it comes to drawing hair is to actually go in here and really break down some of the forms, all right? We're going to break down some of the shapes here that we have and actually try to make a little bit more sense of it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab here. Let's kind of lock this one in here and let's just say, okay, let's do this little section right here, right? We're going to take that section. Let's kind of bring this section right here. And notice how I'm going to be wrapping around here all of these forms. And I'm trying to do something called small, medium, large shapes. All right. So small, medium, large shapes, really breaking down here some of the structure now. But notice how I'm keeping it still relatively simple, right? So small, medium, large, I'm looking here for a small, medium, and then here we're going to do kind of a large shape like this. Okay, so again, breaking in some of the hair there, and then here we'll bring back to get some of this there, okay? So there you go. So step number 2 is we're going to take the forms that we got and actually break them down a little bit more to give it a little bit, a little bit more structure than that silhouette shape, okay? But notice here, even at this step, we're keeping it nice and simple. Now, step number 3 is actually going to be a repeat of step number 2, except instead, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go in now and we're going to add another set, a little bit more detail to currently what we have. All right. But yeah, welcome in everybody, by the way. Thank you for joining in. If you guys like what you're seeing here right now on Twitch live, I also have all these tutorial videos on YouTube. I'm still a baby on YouTube. Like, we literally hit 4K subscribers just last week. So we're still fairly new to YouTube, but I'm gonna do my best to pop off and give content over there. So if you guys are watching from YouTube right now, thank you. But go check me out on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, we're growing on YouTube. It's honestly kind of insane. I did not expect it to grow that much. 4K, baby. Yeah. All right, so let's get into now talking about step number 3, which is going to be, again, a repeat of step number 2. But this time we're going to take those sections that we have, right? And I'm going to be breaking them down just a little bit more. So we're going to, what the heck? We're going to take this. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more. Why does it keep doing that? We're going to add a little bit of volume here. Sorry. Let's do it on a new layer so we can kind of see it break down. All right, so we're going to take the volume that we had, right? And we're going to just kind of add in a little bit more shape, a little bit more volume here. And so we're going to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take this section and I really want to bring that down here like so. And then I want to kind of cut this one up right there. So again, utilizing small, medium, large to get some of those interesting shapes in. Okay, there you go. We're going to do some of that. And then we're just going to keep doing that again. So let's go ahead here. Let's kind of break this one down like so and add another set of shapes there, right? And you can kind of see by doing this process, eventually we're going to get some nice juicy details here for the hair, right? But I'll show you guys where the final step really, what's going to help differentiate it from maybe some of the other steps that we're seeing. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of that. Maybe let's double up here like so, right here, you know, just adding a little bit of hair, a little bit of detail. Boom, boom, boom. And maybe we'll bring this one back here like that, add a little bit more of a shape there. Okay, so here we've got here the rough kind of secondary shape there. And then let's go in now. And last but not least, let's combine all of these together so you can kind of see here the before and after. We're going to do our final step. And this final step right here is actually going to be where we go in now and put in some of the details. Okay, this is going to be where we actually add in a little sprinkle of the juicy details that'll make this character really stand out. And by that, all I'm really going to be doing here is focusing on adding in some of the texture to the hair. And so this is where some of those strands and stuff are really going to pay off. So here, now I'm going to go in, right? I'm going to go in like this. Maybe chop it out a little bit this way, like that. Give some more hair strands this way here. Maybe let's go in here and add a little bit more of like a taper like this. Like that. But notice how I'm keeping here the general shapes that we've already established, right? I'm not really adding in anything new here. I'm just keeping what we already made, what we already have done, and just slowly cleaning it up just a bit more. So I think this is honestly how I draw hair. It's one of the easiest ways I could think of when it comes to drawing hair, because you're prioritizing, again, you're prioritizing the shape design and shape language, and then from there going in and adding details, right? Because how many of you guys in the chat have ever done this before? Let's say you're an artist and you're like, you know what, I want to draw a cool character. So you go in here, you draw a character like this, right? You put a little head there and you're like, oh my gosh, damn, this character looks so cool. Let me give him the cool anime eyes, right? You've done this and you're like, yo, let's go draw hair. And then this is what you've done, right? You go like this and you go, let me add all the crazy details. Look at this. Oh, it's my Sasuke Uchiha fan art. Sheesh. And he has like his hands like this. Put an F in the chat if you've ever done this before, where you jump right into the details, right? And then what ends up happening, right? You do all these lines and details, and then when you zoom out, you're like, wait a minute. It kind of looks off. You know what I'm saying? And you put all the hard work into the details, but then the actual structure underneath doesn't look good. You get what I'm saying? And so what I always tell people is, if you really want to get a good structure, think of it like baking a cake, right? If you had a cake and you didn't focus on the structure of the cake, the flavor of the cake, and the actual thing, it doesn't matter how much detail, how much, how much frosting and all the stuff you put on the cake is still going to taste bad. And it's not really going to look good, right? It's like, it just doesn't make sense. And so I always say, focus on the general shapes first. Get some of the detail in there afterwards. Once you feel good about how the structure works, right? Really go in and then commit to those lines after. But right now, we're keeping it nice and simple. But notice here, we've done all the hard work by establishing all the shapes and stuff. So what I'm doing here is all the easy stuff. This is all the, now I'm just going in and cleaning up the hair that we worked really hard to add details to. You see? Easy peasy. So we're going to go in here. We're going to add some of the other textures like this, double down on the lines, right? Let's go ahead here and kind of put some more lines there. And look at that. Already off the bat, we're already getting some nice hair design here just off of the few lines we've already added in here. Sasuke, yeah, good old Sasuke drawn, right? I love that meme, which is Sasuke like this, but his face is so warped and derpy. Iconic face. Okay, so now that we're at this stage, I'm gonna do my speed run part. Okay, this is the part here where I'm actually gonna speed run it for you guys. So just hang tight here, and I think this is probably a good time where if you guys have any questions in the chat, please feel free to ask away. I try to make my streams as conversational as possible, and also let you guys know that you guys can also ask me questions. I'm not just here to draw on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys can, there's a lot of streamers out here who you can watch that are mostly just drawing. I'm mostly here because I want to talk to you guys and help you guys out in however ways I can. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions if it's about what I do for work, or if it's about, I don't know, let's see here. Questions about today's topic, questions about me in general as a streamer, how I got into streaming, or questions about my favorite anime. Shoot, we can talk about anime. You guys know me. I'm a big anime fan. Don't even get me started on anime. That's the dangerous one, actually. This could be an anime just chatting stream in a quick second if you get me talking about anime. What drawing tablets do you recommend for a newcomer with a tight budget? I would say XP Pen Huon tablets are pretty decent, and they're at a pretty reasonable price point. They usually have sales that happen usually, on the holidays and all that stuff. So I would recommend, honestly, taking a look at some of those. Those might actually help you out. Pretty reasonably priced. I do think that what's it called? Wacom, while it's the better tablet, usually I do think price wise it's going to be more expensive, and not one that you should look into if you're still a beginner. Just a fair opinion from me. Could you tell us a funny story, something Arrow has done? Let me think, man. A fun story about Arrow? I don't know. I caught him one time. There was one time where I thought Arrow had ran away because I couldn't find him at all. And here's the thing. If you guys don't know much about Akitas, they don't really bark. Also, really quick, I do run ads on my stream every hour. One's gonna be running right about now. So if you do get an ad, thank you again for sticking around for the ad break. And I hope to see you guys after the ad break as well. So thank you. If you don't want to see any ads, consider subscribing or using a Prime sub if you have it. But either way, again, I will still be here after. So appreciate all the support. But there was this one time that I thought my dog ran away, and part of the reason why is because he doesn't bark. Akitas don't really bark unless they feel threatened, and so I was trying to look for him the whole time. I was wandering around my house. I was like, where did he go? And he just wasn't saying anything, and I thought he legit ran out the house. Like, he found some way to go through a door, open a door. So I even went outside. I tried looking for him for a little bit, couldn't find him, and then I found that he locked himself in the bathroom. He had went into the bathroom, the restroom, and I guess somehow closed the door on himself. And he was just in the restroom for like probably 30 minutes to an hour, just laying there. Didn't make a single sound, nothing. Oh man. And I was just like, dude, I thought he ran away from me. But no, he was just in there trying to drink toilet water. I was like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Stop drinking the toilet water. I have fresh, clean water for you that I pour. Why do you try to go to the bathroom and drink toilet water? So now what I do is I close the bathroom doors so that he doesn't go in there. Sneaky boy. How long did it take for you to get into the animation industry after you restarted your art career after leaving engineering? That's a good question. It took me about 2 years, to be honest. Two hard years of just really learning the fundamentals, doubling down, drawing and practicing every single day. But it took me about 2 years, and after those 2 years, I was able to get into the industry, and now I work for those of you who are new here, by the way, I currently work right now for the studio that made Castlevania. You can probably see it in my art style, to be honest. I feel like my art style feels very Castlevania in some ways. But yes, I currently work there now, but it took about 2 years. I would say to get to that place, and really I put in a lot of work, and I actually kind of documented it all on Twitch, because I streamed every other day on Twitch since I decided to pursue art more seriously full time. So everything you guys saw from the beginning, from when I was still first starting out to where I'm at now, it's been a good long journey. And I also just teach on Twitch to try to help other people who were in the same boat as me, who maybe feel like, hey, you know what? I wanted to do art at some point in my career, but life happens, right? You wanted to do art, you wanted to do music or whatever creative activity, and then what happens? You decide like, oh, you know what? I got to study something else for school, or society is telling me that I'm not good enough, or I'm not good enough, or I got to pay the bills, right? That kind of thing. But part of why I teach out here is to help people who maybe don't have the access or the opportunity to, pay for art education or pay for books or whatever. But still, if you want to learn, I got you guys covered. So if you guys are out here and you're like, Kaycem, I'm looking for a way to learn, I want to get better, come to my streams. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 8 a.m. PST. I've been doing that for about 3 years, which actually, fun fact, next Saturday is my 3-year stream anniversary on Twitch and also my birthday. I started streaming on my birthday. I don't know why, but I'll be celebrating that next week, and we'll be doing a 12-hour subathon. It might go to 24 hours. We'll see. But I will be doing that next week. So if you guys want to see more tutorials and stuff, a little bit more of me, I would recommend checking out that stream. It'll be a good one. We've done it once before, and I would say it was one of my highlights of my streams. People still talk about some of the stuff we did on that day. Let's see. Wow, there's so much chatting going on here. Welcome in, everybody. Damn, what the heck? Let me see here. There was a question I wanted to call out really quick. Somebody had a question where they said, okay, am I ready for Demon Slayer? Can I give you guys a hot take? Is this, I don't know. Am I still on the front page? I don't know. This might be too spicy for the front page. What do you guys think? Should I give a hot take on the front page? We'll do it. We'll do it. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to tell you guys a hot take. Okay? I'm going to say it. Pause the music. Demon Slayer, as a whole, it's like a 7 out of 10. I think Demon Slayer is overhyped. Okay? Now, look, don't get me wrong. The animation of Demon Slayer, one of the best I've seen. Okay, they put hard-earned money and effort into Demon Slayer, and the animation is good. I would argue is one of the top 10 animations I've seen. Okay, but the story, the story is kind of mid. I read Demon Slayer, so I watched it, and then I read it. And I'm gonna tell you now, when you take away all the fancy schmancy Sakuga animation and all the VFX and the lighting and the colors and stuff, it's mid. I'm not gonna look. Is that a hot take? Man, people are like, yo, Demon Slayer is the best anime ever. It's on my top 10 ever of all time. But I'm like, yo, try reading the manga real quick. Read the manga real quick, and you'll see it's kind of, I don't know, man. The animation, I think, really carries Demon Slayer. But hey, I don't know. Everyone knows it. And maybe that's, there you go. Maybe it's not a hot take. I'm always worried because, you know, there's a crazy fan base. Okay, there's a crazy Demon Slayer fan base. All my Tanjiro fans out here, they're gonna cut me back. They're gonna do their breathing techniques on me. All right, calm down. It's still I would say it's still a watchable anime. All right, I give it a solid 7. You can still watch it. Would I put it on my top 10? No. Would I put it in my top 20? No. I put it like top 30 maybe. But it is true, your perception of good can change over time. I agree 100%. But I'll tell you, look, to be fair, I will give you guys my top 5 so that way you guys can roast me for my top 5 list. Okay, that way it's a little fair here for all of my Demon Slayer fans who are like, bro, like, what, just roasting me, man, come on. Okay, here's my top 5. Again, this is my personal take, my personal taste. All right. Okay. Number 1, all time, always, One Piece. That's it. One Piece, always my number 1. Okay. Both manga, both anime. Don't even at me on this one. One Piece is goated. Okay. Other 4, it's a little bit of a tie. It's a little kind of in between. So I'm just going to list them off in no particular order. Okay. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's up there. Just quality story, great ending, fast paced. You get good 60 episodes of just juicy, awesome, incredible story, and the art looks dope. The animation is 10 out of 10. Up there. Full Metal Alchemist Brother on my top 5. Okay. Other ones on my top 5. Don't even debate me on this one. Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo, super underrated because people get overshadowed by Cowboy Bebop. But the way that it changed the music industry, the way that it really popularized lo-fi hip hop. Shout out to Nujabes, rest in peace. Samurai Champloo is up there. Not necessarily for the story. I think the story is okay, but honestly, when it comes to music, I think no other anime has altered music in the way that Samurai Champloo has done it. Samurai Champloo, one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard on any anime. Easily. No question asked on that one. All right. Let's continue. Other top fives. Let's see here. Okay. Kind of debatable on this one, but Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay. I'm putting Yu Yu Hakusho on my top five only because I grew up on it. Okay. I grew up on Yu Yu Hakusho. It's kind of, it has a place in my heart, and I like the characters. I think they're all spunky. So I'm going to put Yu Yu Hakusho on there. Okay. I know some of y'all are like, huh? Never even watched it. What is that? It's made by the guy who made Hunter x Hunter. So if you guys liked Hunter x Hunter, you'll probably like Yu Yu Hakusho. All right, so what do we got here? We've got here One Piece, Full Metal, Samurai Champloo, Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay, last one for my mecha fans out here. Not even mech. Gurren Lagann. Okay, Gurren Lagann. Some might call it basic. I put it on my top five. All right. Animation is good. I feel like there are very few animes that I watch that get me off of my feet and start cheering and getting hype. I feel like Gurren Lagann does a great job of just balancing good energy, good character development, and has arguably one of the most badass side characters to exist. Shout out to Kamina. But there you go. That's my top five. Okay. Top five out there. Again, this is, you can roast me. You can roast me on my top five. I get it. But anyways, we've done here the hair tutorial. While we talked about anime, I distracted you guys because we've locked in here the hair tutorial. And as you guys can see, take a look. This is what I did. Boom. You see that? All the details we just put in. Again, this is kind of the secret sauce that I'm trying to tell you guys about, right? I could have jumped in on the details right away, but instead, by focusing on the basic shapes first, all the basic volumes, this is where we're going to get some of that nice, juicy illustration right here, right? We're getting some of the nice details right here, but it comes after the fact. And so we have a pretty good, solid structure. What about Bleach? Okay, Bleach is not in my top 5 anime because I felt like the anime was kind of here and there, and they had kind of not really the best, I would say, animations at times. But Bleach is in my top 5 manga. That's a whole different conversation. Bleach, top 5 manga. But how about this? Let's put the pressure off of your boy Kaycem, and I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, okay? Guys, give me your top 5, or how about this, top 3, because top 5 is a lot. Top 3 anime, hit me with your list real quick, all right? I know someone out here is going to put Boruto. I'm going to let it slide. If you're going to put Demon Slayer, okay, I'm going to let it slide, all right? I get it. I might judge you, but I'm going to let it slide. Put your top 3s in the chat. Let's see what you guys are vibing with. But there you go. As for those of you who were here for the hair tutorial, hopefully that made some sense there. Ta-da! Hair tutorials, hair details. Not bad, right? So again, started off with a bald character, right? Bald character, putting on some of the structure, putting on some of the forms, and then putting on here, boom. There you go. There you go. Adding in all the details there. And that is how you get some nice juicy drawings for your characters. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and merge all of these out. And I'm going to finish it off by just drawing some hands on this character really quick. And then I think we'll be good to go with moving on to the next pose. All right. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful to you guys to see. Again, my goal for today's stream is really to focus on all the things that we've learned so far, kind of breaking down all the topics about drawing heads, drawing torsos, and drawing arms right here. And so wanted to give that all into one structure, one stream. So for those of you who, maybe have been watching my other streams and want a little bit of that recap, right? This is going to be it. This is kind of what it looks like when you combine all of those pieces of Exodia together, and you get this drawing, right? You get this practice. So I highly recommend it for those of you guys who are following along. Join in on this drawing, join on this practice. Again, it's available to grab on my Discord channel, so you guys can grab this sheet for free. You can as well as a few of the other worksheets we got on here too. Okay, there you go. We got people's lists on there. I will say right now, Chainsaw Man, and when it comes to the manga, it's not in my top 5 yet. It's not on my, but I think it's coming close. I think it's in my top 10. I think Chainsaw Man has been doing an incredible job of surprising me week after week. The characters are pretty quirky and in many ways realistic. So I actually put Chainsaw Man in my top 10 manga. Anime wise, I haven't seen it yet. And I feel like it's too early. It's too early to put it in a top 10 when it's only had one season. Because let's be real. Let's be real, guys. I'm sure you guys remember when One Punch Man season 1 came out. Incredible. Animation was 10 out of 10. And then what happened in season 2 of One Punch Man? I mean, the story was still good, but like the animation was just not as, it's hard to watch. It's a little brutal to watch. And so sometimes I find that a lot of studios in Japan and stuff will, they'll put their heart and soul into a season 1, right? Make sure everyone gets hyped and stuff. And then after that, season 2 onwards, sometimes the quality is just not what it used to be. And so I'm going to wait a little bit to see how how Chainsaw Man plays out, right? As multiple seasons and stuff come out of it. But for now, I'm not putting it on any list. Not yet. But yeah, I would say there's a lot of good anime to watch and stuff. So plenty to pick and choose out here. Okay, I'm just going to draw some quick hands here because I don't want to spend too much time on it today. We're just going to lock it out, lock in some of the details here. And then we'll jump into the next reference out here today. Oh, yeah, I heard about that too. I hope it goes well. But, MAPPA's been picking up a lot. And so I'm kind of worried that their artists might be might be a little overworked. But we'll see. We'll see how MAPPA does with the next season. I feel like MAPPA's touching like everything these days. But yes, welcome in everybody who is coming in here. I hope you guys have been enjoying the stream. It's been solid for me so far. And yeah, welcome in. We were having a little bit of an anime rant earlier. Oh, also, if you did have questions for me earlier and I might have missed it just because the chat was going by pretty crazy, let me know in the chat. Just put some questions in the chat again if you guys had them, and I will try to see if I can address them again. I know I missed a few earlier, and I apologize for that just because we got into the topic of anime, and boy, I knew it was gonna happen. I told you guys, the moment you bring up anime on my streams, you know where it's gonna go. It's gonna be a hot debate out here. People roasting each other's top 5s, right? It's just what it is. It's just what happens. But yeah, feel free to retype some of those questions on here. Imagine Bonanza from Akon is running and you see Kaycem is streaming. Random? I guess not. It's not random. Everything is all connected in this multiverse. Welcome back in, by the way, Club. Kaycem, do you still plan on doing a crit stream sometime? Do you want to do that today? What do you guys think? I might be down to do that. All right, let's go do, okay, here's what we're going to do. Later today on my stream, probably in the last hour or 30 minutes or so, we will do an art roast section where all you guys, if you guys want to join in and have me roast your art, if you're okay with that, join in on the Discord channel. I'll show you guys really quick where to go for that, okay? If you guys go on the Discord channel, you can grab today's worksheets and stuff here. But also, if you post here on the art critique section, all that I ask is, so you post something, so you post this, but then also ask, say like, hey, tell me what you're struggling with, right? So maybe if you're struggling with the hair or you're struggling with the anatomy or whatever, all right? So put something like this, and I'll pick out maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of them, and then we'll do it live on Twitch where I'll go over helping you guys out with your art, okay? But post them in the art critiques if you want. Today I'll be doing it towards the end of my stream, so not right now, but we will probably do one of those. Why not? It's a Saturday. I like Saturday streams. Okay, but there you go. Go ahead and do that, guys. Join in on the Discord channel, and I will roast you guys. I will give you guys advice, okay? I'm not gonna just roast you guys and tell you your art is trash. I'm not that kind of guy. I will try to genuinely give you guys some advice and give you some help. What art? Any art that you're struggling with. If you're struggling with stuff, though I will say I specialize in character design. That's what I do for work and stuff. So preferably characters, because if you guys give me a background, like I can try to help you, but again, right? Try to ask me questions that are related to my specialty out here on Twitch, not necessarily random stuff. And how's it going, Lynn? Welcome back in. But okay, let's go in and let me piece all this out. So again, this is what we started off with today, right? This simple mannequin. And look at how we have transformed this mannequin. Look at how much it has changed. Oh, mannequin. Lean beef patty, if you're watching right now, I just want to thank you. You got some dope references. I appreciate your I appreciate you posting pictures on Instagram and stuff. It's great for people like me who teach art on Twitch. All right, but there you go. We locked in the forms. Easy peasy, guys. I'm telling you, man. But okay, let's go back in here and let's try to wrap this one up. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clean out the lines just a tad bit, and we'll work on another pose for you guys out here today. Okay. I'll show you guys really quick how I do my flat colors, because I usually just go in here and I'll put in some grays. All right, so some nice simple grays right here. And there you go. We'll jump into another one, but this time we'll do a back pose instead. All right, but yeah, congratulations. That's insane. You guys are popping off with the raffles today. It's just some male body drawings. Oh, that happens. It even happens to me. I try to post my own stuff on the Discord and it says the server owner does not allow these type of posts. And I'm like, bro, I'm the server owner. What do you mean? There's someone who's above me? How could that be the case? Baffling out here. Who's above me on my own server? Hey, Kaycem, any advice on what to do if you think you have hit the wall with art? Like if you're plateauing? Ooh, now that's a good one, guys. So for those of you watching today, put an F in the chat right now if you feel like you've been plateauing with your art. You feel like you're like, man, I've been drawing a bunch, but for some reason I feel like I'm not growing. I feel like I'm not leveling up. Why does it feel like I'm stuck? And then you go on Instagram and you see everyone else is popping off and you're like, yo, what the heck? Everyone else is so good. Everyone's getting better. And here I am still stuck. Plateau in life, maybe even that too. If you feel that way, I'm gonna give you guys some advice today. Again, take what I say with a grain of salt, obviously, but I'm gonna give you guys some advice as to how I think you can maybe get out of this plateau or feel like you're stuck, right? So let's talk about that actually while we work on some of these. All right, so I think to even talk about how to overcome this plateau, I think we need to first define what it even means to plateau and how we even end up in these situations to begin with, all right? And again, for those of you watching here, I do teach art on Twitch and I cover a lot of different topics out here on the platform, but we also do a lot of chatting just to kind of, have a conversation for the art community, but in general, creatives as well. This is not limited to art, digital art and stuff. If you guys are a musician or just have any creative passions, I'm sure you guys can relate to the feeling of feeling stuck, right? Maybe even in life. You don't even have to be creative to feel stuck in life. So we do a lot of that out here on my streams if you guys like that kind of thing. And thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Shadow Wolf out here knocking out another sub goal. Sheesh. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna give you guys another cheat sheet, but let me go ahead and fill this one out and I'll talk really quick about plateau and stuff. So oftentimes when I think about plateaus, I think that we end up in this plateau oftentimes because we have a perception of reality and we have a perception of our expectations of where we want to be. I'm going to talk about it in the sense of just being an artist, but I do think this applies to life in general and stuff, right? But let's say, for example, you are an artist and maybe when you first started drawing, you were pretty excited. Yo, thank you for the 1,000 bits. What the heck? Oh shoot. Yo, okay, yeah, we'll do another we'll do another raffle. Oh shoot, we'll do one later. What the heck? Thank you so much for that, and thank you for the subs, guys. Really do appreciate it. If you guys didn't know, every sub on my stream, whether if it's a gifted sub, prime sub, or a regular sub, every 10 subs on my stream actually unlocks a new art cheat sheet for everybody who is watching out here. So if you guys, are thinking about subscribing, not only do you help me out, but you also help everybody who is watching today, because they all get access to some more free art resources as well. And also everybody who is subscribed here on Twitch also gets access to my courses. I've taught 3 courses last year on Twitch, so you'll get access to those. You'll get access to the videos. So not only do you get emotes and ad-free experience, you also get some art education. $5 art school. That's not bad for stuff that I teach. Given how the stuff that I teach you guys is actually stuff that I paid hundreds of dollars for when I went to art school and actually learned all of these things. So I'm just giving it to you guys now for free if you're watching here, or for my subscribers if you want to watch it offline. But anyways, as I was saying, plateau, right? So this whole thing about plateau, how do we get into it and stuff? And I think, again, a lot of it has to do with this idea of expectation and reality and the discrepancy between the two, right? Oftentimes when we first started out, like here, and let me know if this is relatable to you guys, put an F in the chat if when you first started drawing, you felt like you were growing so much, right? You felt like there was so much to learn, so much to do. You were like, wow, I went from drawing a stick figure to now being able to draw a face, right? Put an F in the chat if you ever felt that way. And it felt good. It felt good in those moments when you could feel like you were, you could draw anything, right? And I think part of that, again, is because when you first start out with anything, there's going to be a huge gain, huge growing jump that you'll get, right? Those of you who've ever been to the gym and tried exercising, there's a thing called noob gains, right? It's like that first month of going to the gym and you're like, damn, I feel strong, right? And so that happens all the time. But I think also from a psychological standpoint, a lot of what happens also is that when you're going into drawing, you don't have expectations of trying to make something that looks super good, right? Because you don't know what good looks like. You've never made a good drawing before. And so when you're out there, when you're first starting out, you have zero expectation. And so you're out there just having fun, drawing what you want to draw, and you give yourself a pat on the back because you realize that you are drawing better than where you were before, right? Notice that. No plateau. You feel good about your growth. But what ends up happening, right? As we start developing our skills as an artist, we start looking at ourselves, we start comparing ourselves to our previous skills, we start looking at other artists, right? How many of you guys have been on Instagram and you see a really cool drawing and you're like, damn, this is so good. Let me go ahead and see who the artist is. You click on their profile picture and it's like, 12 years old, just got into high school. I love drawing. And you're just like, huh? How is this kid like 12, 13 years old and they're making stuff like this? And here I am looking at my art and I'm like, yo, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden you start comparing yourself, right? Little by little, each time you do that, you start comparing yourself and you start wondering to yourself, why am I not growing fast enough? Before, you used to get so excited that you were even able to draw anything outside of a stick figure. And now all of a sudden you're saying you're not growing enough, right? And so that's kind of the first problem. That's kind of the first step there is you start to realize, you start to make these kind of comparisons where your expectations all of a sudden start changing. Before, it used to be you just wanted to draw more, you wanted to get better. Now you're thinking, I want to get faster. I'm not growing fast enough, right? How many of you guys in the chat feel that way? Put an F in the chat if you feel like you're not improving fast enough. You feel like everyone else is popping off and doing this and that, and here you are feeling like you're either stuck or it's just going super slow. A lot of that, again, happens because we make all these comparisons, whether it's social media or all these other things, right? Or maybe other people tell you. People tell you like, wow, man, your art is kind of whack. I don't know. I've been there too. So what I'll say about all of that is I think if you want to get out of this plateau, you have to be able to do, I think, one of two things, or maybe do both of these things, okay? Also, thank you again for all the subs today. Thank you for all the follows today. Appreciate all the primers out here, guys. You guys are incredible. How do we overcome this? We're going to talk about it just right now, actually. So here's the secret sauce. I think personally, there's two ways that you can overcome this, okay? The first way is going to be to understand your expectations, understand where they're coming from, and try to alter your expectations. Sometimes we look at other people and we say to ourselves, man, I'm so behind compared to XYZ. Look at all these people on Instagram. What the heck is going on there? I'm so behind compared to them, right? And so now your expectation is trying to compare yourself to these other people and trying to get better than them, when part of the problem there is, one, you don't even know what they're doing, but also two, art is not linear, right? Just because you are not, maybe that person's really good at drawing characters doesn't mean that they're good at drawing perspective, that they're good at drawing realistic stuff. Maybe they're only really good at drawing anime waifus, right? And so understanding that comparing yourself to other people is at the end of the day a losing battle, and instead focusing on yourself and how you can improve on your own work, right? And see where you're at and how you can push that. I think that's really the first step. So again, notice why you're setting these expectations, and then be able to ask yourself, are the expectations I'm setting realistic, or do I need to alter them? Okay, but now let's take a step back and let's say, you know what, Kaycem, I do think my expectations are realistic. I think they're pretty fair. What do I do then? What if this is my goal? What if I want to be the best artist ever and I want to do this and that? What can I do then? Right? And so to that, I would say the other thing you can start doing for yourself is to then alter your reality, your perception of reality, which is right now. I think this is probably the more important one. So pay attention to this one. But how many of you guys in the chat, let's say you are really good at drawing, I don't know, anime waifus, right? But one day you're like, you know what? I want to draw some male characters today. I'm going to try to do something new. So you try to go, you grab your pencil, you draw for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And the moment that your drawing just doesn't look good anymore, you stop. You're like, this looks kind of ugly compared to what I can do, right? Put an F in the chat if that has ever happened to you, right? You go in here and you're like, yeah, I want to draw something new today. And you draw and you're like, you start comparing it to the things you are good at. And so this is what actually happens. Think of it this way. Okay. This is your little growth in life. Okay. Your little progress bar here. Okay. First of all, progress really occurs when you try to push yourself out of the comfort zone. So what ends up happening when you are here and you're in your little plateau, right? And your mind says, hey, I want to try to do something new. So you try to do something new like this. But the moment where you're expecting to see growth, what ends up happening? You tell yourself, you know what? Maybe not. I'm going to stop today and I'm going to go back to the things that I'm good at drawing. Let me go back to drawing my anime waifus. Let me go back to drawing the same stuff that I draw every day, right? And so this happens periodically. So like, yeah, you're growing a little bit, right? But you're not growing the way that you want to grow because your expectation has been set like this. You want to grow like this. But for some reason, reality is the color in red. And because you keep getting stuck, you keep holding yourself back, right? So what's the problem there? The problem there is this discrepancy right here, where again, you feel frustrated because you're like, I want to be here. Kaycem, I want to be here so bad. And I'm putting in all this energy, all this time. But for some reason, I'm still here. I haven't really improved from where I was 2 months ago. You guys kind of get what I'm saying here? So drawing every day, drawing all of this stuff, even if you draw every day, it's not necessarily mean you're going to draw and get better overall. And this is not just specific to art. This is specific to or generalized to everything in life. But I think when it comes to art, even if you're drawing every day, if you're not pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and giving yourself the opportunity to actually make those changes and realize that, hey, you know what? I'm learning something new. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as the stuff I know how to do and that I've spent time doing, and that's okay. If you can change your perception of reality that way and start thinking about just drawing for fun, drawing to try new things, just like how you were when you first started drawing, when you had no expectations, no place to be, I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is going to be a great recipe for growing faster, for being quicker with your skills, learning new skills, and then bringing that back in to actually improving the current skills you have, because that's really how it is. But again, it's easier said than done, right? I wish it was as easy as just like, wow, I listened to the stream and here we go. I'm going to go skyrocket now, easy stonks. We're going to go level up tomorrow. It is going to take some time, and it's going to take a lot of readjusting, because sometimes you have to take a step back and say, okay, let me reevaluate my expectations. Let me reevaluate what's happening in reality and what I'm capable of. But I think overall, understanding these things and being just generally aware of these things, I think is the good first step into getting out of feeling like you're plateauing or feeling like you are stuck or being slow in your progress. Okay, but there you go. That is my answer to that question. Let me know in the chat if that was helpful at all, guys. I don't know. Sometimes I say things and I think they're helpful, but maybe they're not helpful. You know, let me know in the chat, because again, these are just things that I have found that have helped me improve in my life, and have also helped me really progress in my skills to be able to go pivot from. Again, a lot of you guys have asked me, like, Kaycem, how are you able to switch careers in 2 years from software engineering to working in the animation industry? And honestly, a lot of it really comes down to realizing my expectations and what I currently am able to do, and slowly and constantly pushing myself to do more things, while also not trying to compare myself to other people and all of that stuff. Just focusing on my own path, what I can improve on, and also celebrating my improvements too, because let's be real, I think a lot of us are a little self-critical to ourselves. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you draw something and the moment it doesn't turn out good, you're like, I'm done. I'm never drawing again. This is trash. I'm gonna retire. I'm just never gonna draw. I'm garbage, right? This happens all too often. So sometimes you got to celebrate. You got to celebrate your own victories. You know, what's that one phrase about we are our own critics or something like that? Or we are our own worst critics. There you go. And so I always tell you guys, you know, just take it easy. Art is a long journey. I know we all want to get better. We all want to improve. We all, whether it's art or just life, right? We keep comparing ourselves to other people. You're like, man, so-and-so just got a degree. They're working this job, and here I am still studying in school, or here I am, you know, making minimum wage or whatever. What the heck is going on? My life sucks. Like, damn, I think we're too hard on ourselves. Life is short, and life is already hard enough. We don't need to make it more difficult. So, is going to art school worth it? That's a good question. I think it depends. I did both. I did go to art school, but I also dropped out of art school. I think if you have the money for it, and if it's not going to break the bank, why not? You go to a good art school, you learn a few things. I think it'll level you up pretty fast. I think that's great. But do I think it's required or necessary? I don't think so. I think you can find success in any career, but mostly in art, and not have to go to a school for it. That's just what I think. But yeah, let's see here. I'm wondering why artists use red sketch lines and not black. Is there a specific reason for it? Couple reasons. One, I like the color. I like the color red and stuff. But two, I think that when you blend colors out and stuff, I think it's actually a lot nicer to blend out red than it is to blend out black. But I think it's all really just a matter of preference. There's no right or wrong strategy. But okay, guys. Oh, thank you for the redemption. What is it? JSON redemption? Let me see. All right, let's read this one out. Here we go.
Hey guys, Shamir out here wanted me to let you guys know that if you practice with your hands, even 5 hours won't be enough. But if you practice with your head, 30 minutes is enough. Woo!
That's actually a good quote. And it actually reminds me of a quote that I want to tell you guys today about practice makes perfect. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of practice makes perfect, but I actually think there's a much better quote that you guys can strive for, and which is practice with purpose makes perfect practice. Okay? Practice with purpose makes perfect practice. If you are intentional with the things you're practicing, instead of just randomly drawing every single day, I'm going to tell you guys now, that's going to be a huge strategy for success, man, which is why I think a lot of the times going to stuff like art school or whatever can actually be really beneficial for that reason. Okay, but let's go ahead anyways. let's go ahead here and let's do this. Boom. Okay, so we're gonna do a back pose. Actually, I'm gonna let you guys choose today because I think we got some options here. Okay, we got a few options that you guys can work with today. I'm gonna let you guys choose. Do you guys want pose number 1 or pose number 2 out here? I'm gonna let you guys pick because I'm a generous man. 1, 2. Vote in the polls. All right, we'll do either or. I think both are going to be challenging. Okay, just a fair heads up. Which one do you want? Let's go like this. What you want? 1 or 2? I think both are difficult. 1 is difficult because we're doing a back pose, and I think back poses are harder. 2 is difficult because we're doing a pose in perspective, and so you're seeing this low angle shot here, and so we're going to be going over some of that stuff. Yeah, you can just vote in the poll. There's a poll right now. You guys can choose either or, and apparently apparently a lot of you guys really want to. It's like not even a debate at this point. Should we even continue the poll? Man, I think the poll is locked in. I think we all know which one we're gonna do. Am I gonna do the one with gesture? Yeah, we'll make it this one because I think this is a hard one. We'll do the gesture one. What you want is not there. What the heck? Thank you for the follows, Pap Nacha, and everybody else coming in here. Okay, I guess we're doing 2. You know what? I'll vote 2 as well. All right, we're just gonna assume 2 is there. Kaycem, I'm gonna start streaming. I always come here to listen. I'm going to start streaming and give myself that push. Nice, that's what I like to hear. I'm glad that you're here. And again, congrats on winning the art roast. You're gonna go with 1? Yeah, you gotta mix it up a little. All right, cool. So I guess we're doing 2 today. So let me go ahead and move. I'm gonna move that reference over here, and we're gonna move. We're gonna move this drawing over here. I thought this was a good drawing. I'm actually really proud of myself today. Do you think she'll like this? If I post this on Instagram and if I tag her, do you think lean beef Patty, or is that her name? Lean beef Patty will like this? I think it looked good. It's pretty solid. But okay, let's do another one. The grind don't stop, guys. The grind don't stop. We're here for another day, another grind, another drawing, and we're gonna do our best. If you guys want to join in, it's not too late, by the way. You guys can actually join in by going to my Discord channel and grabbing here. Ooh, this is good. We'll go over that. We might go over that one, but all that I ask is you guys go to the art resources right here. You guys can grab today's worksheet. And you know what? Now that we're here, let me give you guys another worksheet because we did get our sub goal hit out here. So I'm gonna give you guys the torso today because I think the torso will be helpful. But again, these are free to grab, guys, while I am live. All that I ask is you follow my stream, join me on Discord. Today's worksheet right here, if you want to draw along. This is what we covered last stream where we covered arms from different poses. And then last but not least here, we got two sheets that you guys can download. This is the skeletal and muscular anatomy of the head. Easy peasy. And last but not least here, we got here the new sheet that I put for you guys, which is the torso anatomy here. So you guys can grab this one, free to grab until the end of my stream, and then they will be gone. So if you're watching from YouTube, I'm sorry, you just join the Discord channel, you know. But there you go. That's what we're working with today. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead, guys, and let's talk about this pose here. And what I'm going to do is actually going to do something a little different with you guys, where we're going to start off by just working on the general gesture. Now, what exactly is gesture? For those of you who don't know what gesture basically is capturing the rhythm, the flow, the motion of something. And gesture can be applied in many things, not just the human body. It can actually be applied to also to trees, to water. Everything in life has some form of gesture, whether it's a static gesture or something more fluid. So here we're going to be looking at some of the rhythms and trying to figure out what exactly is the rhythm that we're going for. Now, I also want to preface here that this is going to be a tough shot because of the perspective. So keep that in mind, that perspective is going to be playing a big role here. So we're going to try to capture some of that volume and perspective. But first, I'm going to be playing around first and just adding in some of the gesture. Then we'll go in and add some of the forms, okay? But yeah, welcome in. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys can actually check out the YouTube channel as well for those of you guys who are tuning in here right now. My YouTube channel, I'm trying to cover more stuff out there. So we got lots of tutorials coming up. I upload 3 videos a week over there. I'm trying to be like Ludwig, the art version of Ludwig, you know? Artwig? Lud art? Doesn't sound good. But I'm trying to upload a lot over there and to help you guys out and stuff. But here we're going to start with some simple shapes, right? And notice here I'm focusing primarily on gesture, just trying to get some nice little rhythms here of the body, of the torso. And here for the arms, I'm going to do some gesture as well, just kind of focusing there on the general shapes and the flow there, not necessarily the actual, all the details. So here's a quick little gestural trick that I do for drawing arms. I try to find here the curvature of the deltoid, try to find here the curvature of the upper arm. And then using that, you can kind of get like a nice little zigzag pattern there. And it's super easy. You can kind of see this, like, boom. There you go. See that? Gesture. Easy peasy. So again, this is a nice quick little drawing that we just did, right? Just to kind of get things going. And then I'm going to try to find some other kind of forms and stuff that we can kind of start building up here. And I think this will help us out when it comes to establishing some more of the structure. So already I would say this is off to a good start. We've got here some good forms, some good structures that we're building up. And from here, we can really start to actually also play around a bit more with the forms that we're seeing. And so if we wanted to, you know, push it further, that kind of thing, we totally could. And this is by no means a commitment because we're still only just drawing loose lines, right? There you go. So again, I might be drawing this a little bit faster than you guys who might be following along. But this is just something that I think takes some practice, drawing gestures and just having fun with it. Keep it nice and loose is what I always say. We're not on the leg anatomy yet, but this is going to be the sartorius muscle right here. Look at that. Huge. That's some good muscle definition right there. Sheesh. But we're gonna chop up her leg today, so sorry. We're just gonna do that. See ya. Goodbye, legs. Any mod know how I can access all the channels on Discord to see the drawings? All you gotta do is read the rules. So I have a rules thing. If you read the rules, it'll give you a role that will give you access to the rest of the server and stuff. All right, I'm just gonna chop it out so that way it doesn't look super weird, like we're just cutting off her legs. But you could imagine there's some legs there, right? Some form going on there. And thank you for the subs today, guys. Appreciate it. All right, well, let's get into it. So now we've got here the rough gesture. Hopefully that made sense, by the way. I know we kind of sped run through it, but that was kind of the gesture. I think gestures in general should be quick. Personally, I think a good gesture is one that is, you know, kind of done pretty quickly, kind of just loosely and stuff. You keep some of the energy there, but also doing it with some intent, right? So now that we've done all that, let me actually lower the opacity so we can see some of the forms better. There you go. Much better. All right. Let's go in and let's start actually breaking down some of the structure and forms that we're seeing here for this reference. All right, guys, so let me go ahead and do some of that a little bit more and also move her head a little bit as well. Okay. Oh, what the? Oh, shoot, am I in the wrong layer? Damn, hold on. Okay, let me copy paste and move that up here and then erase that here and merge that there. Perfect. Nice. And let's see here. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just liquefy a few things, kind of move things around a bit, just to kind of capture the pose a little bit better. Okay, there you go. But yes, welcome in, welcome in. Now, for those of you who are watching today, I'd love to know how many of you guys in the chat are artists out here.